think like at least 9 out of these 10 times I'm said like, oh, this is just gonna be a really short one, but this one will be, because these are all my notes for today. Very, very quickly, I tested the 2 short films I talked about in the 2 previous films. Test results agree with me. The frameless versions both suck ass. Interestingly, the action film is the lowest scoring frameless short film we've ever made, and the second highest scoring cinema one. Really proving the point that I was talking about the other day, that emotional engagement comes from how you shoot something, not what you're shooting. And I do intend to play around with that idea more and like try to come up with like a new equivalent of show don't tell that is emotion, not information, is what the audience wants. Just don't know what form it will take, or if it will be a big or small part of this PhD project, but that interests me a lot, like shooting a scene and then shooting it once from one emotional perspective and then another time from another emotional perspective, because I already can prove that it's very possible to have no emotional perspective through the 360 version of that action thing. But just the idea of making you align with one character or another character based on what close-ups you get and who you get access to aligning with, to use the structure of sympathy of Murray Smith, which I love. Anyway, that will somehow form a part of something, because the big news is that I've been talking in the last 2 films about like, oh yeah, making something really frameless with filming 360 and idea of story inside a car. I've had lined up 3 ideas for 360 short films, and I've cancelled all 3 of them, because after having seen how terribly unengaging the 360 version of All That Matters is, the latest action movie, and then seeing how I've tried 3 or 4 times now testing the filming a lens that sees 180 in other formats, and it's only one time has it scored high, and that's a horror film. It really leads me to believe that it is the genre, not the lens. So I've written a 1-page horror film that I can manage to shoot in 2 versions of frameless to just test that again there. I'm struggling a bit with the fact that I don't see how I'm ever going to be able to make a frameless short film that will score higher than cinema. I'm only able to find things that don't work and reasons why it's better in cinema. As long as I'm sticking to narrative, emotional engagement, I don't see it. So the output of films is going to go down because I need time to come up with something that might work. I don't know. I really don't know, man. What the hell? Anyway, yes. So one thing I've decided to do when we filmed a table read for the idea of a film inside a car. We shot it from 2 different places, stuck it on a head-mounted display, looked at it and went, this is just the ultimate wide shot of no emotional engagement and so objective and not. We hated it. So we actually got into the car and drove and tried some other things, and no, it's all just terrible. And I went to re-up my pyrotechnic license, so I brought the 360 camera and put it 5 meters away from an explosion, and we're standing 25 meters away as we're pressing, and we're all like, whoa, that was a good one, that was big, we could feel it all the way here. But in 360 it's just like, because you have all this image and percentage-wise, it's just such a small blip in the image. It's when you don't have a frame that says this is what this sentence is important right now, this image is important right now, it has no impact. So between that, filming the 360 version of the action film, the explosion, and the table read and the test in the car, I've just cancelled all three and gone, that's the wrong direction to go. So instead, I've now taken the two highest scoring cinema frameless short films. The two highest scoring cinema short films, based on a true story and Stay. I've reformatted them to like an IMAX 4:3 format, and trying to use the Apple Vision Pro as a personal IMAX device. And I'm testing that and seeing how those numbers of personal IMAX stack up against communal cinema, to see, well, maybe frameless is the wrong approach for this technology. Maybe it is just a what is it Kingsley called it, a glorified projector. Maybe that is because there still is this thing about like sending my short films to friends and they're like watching it on their phones and like, oh, it's okay. Maybe I don't know, it depends what the numbers are. It could still end up that people prefer communal cinema, but if communal cinema is dying, is a glorified projector that bad? Is it actually a way to preserve cinema? Not as a space, a building, but as an art form? Yeah. I really do think there is something to the fact that people want to... I'm going to show you something. I think people want to be entertained, and I think people want to sit back and be entertained. So in my new questionnaire, I have added 3 different questions, depending if you're seeing it in frameless, personal IMAX, or cinema. And it's asking you questions about if you preferred, like, dislike, or no preference to the fact that you have active head movement in the frameless version, or passive head movement in personal IMAX and cinema, meaning like you have to look for the story or being shown the story. And then do you like or dislike or no preference on the individual viewing experience or the communal viewing experience? And then most importantly, wearing the head-mounted display itself. Because a lot of people complain about that. And I really do want to try to build a VR 180 cinema. But I've spoken to 2 people now who used to work in that field, and both of them have stopped because their businesses went under because it didn't take off and people didn't really like it. So that's not like a great recommendation. I don't know. We'll see. If this comes back with like, I don't mind looking around, but I hate watching the wearing the head-mounted display, then there might be a reason for testing it. We'll see. But in any case, you probably won't hear from me for a while. I will be testing some films that have already been made, make a horror movie, and take a holiday. And you should too.